Liberal government has run massive deficits for 8 long years, and as predicted, inflation has soared, leading to unaffordable mortgage rates for households across this country. Canadians today have the highest household debt in the G7, and today we now have the highest risk of mortgage default in the OECD nations. The solution is obvious. End deficit spending, stop the inflation, and help Canadian families. So will the Prime Minister and his government commit to ending his inflationary spending to prevent a fiscal crisis?
The Honourable Minister for Immigration.
Mr. Speaker, to be absolutely clear, the Honourable Member's question when he refers to deficit spending is largely referring to the supports that kept families fed during the pandemic. The programs that we put forward help keep the roof over kids' heads in my community. It helps small businesses keep the lights on and the doors open. And jeer during my responses they made, they know that this is true. The deficit spending that they're talking about included the pandemic supports that made sure that families in my community could keep food on the table and a roof over their kids' heads. Those supports help small businesses keep the lights on and the doors open. And here they are now blaming the Canadians who availed themselves of those pandemic benefits on deficit spending that they now are attributing to inflation. The reality, Mr. Speaker, is they don't support these spending now, and at the time their leader held a press conference that said he's a conservative, he doesn't support those big fat government programs. Well, I support them because they kept my neighbours fed when they needed it.
The Honourable Member for New Brunswick Southwest.
Mr. Speaker, that is absurd. $200 billion was spent during the pandemic that had nothing to do with helping Canadians. This government just added another $60 billion to their inflationary bonfire, and they now have deficits for as long as the eye can see. Canadians are struggling to put food on their table. They're cancelling their summer vacation because of this Liberal-caused inflation. On our side of the House, we're willing to work all summer to fix and pass a budget that will tackle the inflation, bring down inflation, bring down deficits, and make home ownership and hard work affordable again. So will the Prime Minister cancel his summer vacation? Will he get to work, or a surfboard rental?
The Honourable Minister for Families.
Mr. Speaker, what the member opposite is saying is absolutely false. What we did during the pandemic was support Canadians. And when he's talking about that additional funding, he's talking about things like childcare. $30 billion that is helping Canadians access childcare. We don't know how the Conservatives are going to vote on it, but what we heard during their speeches in the House, Mr. Speaker, that they're pretty against affordable childcare. They're pretty against Canadians having access to thousands of dollars in their pockets at the end of the year. That's helping them pay for the high cost of groceries. That's helping them with their mortgages. That's helping them take maybe a family vacation. Mr. Speaker, let's see what they do. Let's see if they truly care about.
L'honorable député